just finished a FaceTime with His Excellency, who asked me, will we make the Crawford fight? And the answer, Boot said to him, send the contract.
The fight between Terence Crawford and Jaron Ennis is now official and will take place sooner than expected, as both boxers have agreed to go with the match and everything is set up.
He's already said he loves the Terence Crawford Boot Ennis fight. You know, I took him to see him and he knows he's boxing.
However, the fight between Terence Crawford and Jaron Ennis has now been announced, along with the date and place. The announcement follows an initial disagreement between the two combatants, with Terence Crawford refusing to fight smaller opponents.
Like I always say, I don't care. I just want to fight the top guys, the best guys. They're going to bring the best side out of me.
This weekend, Ennis stopped David Avanesian in the 8th round in Philadelphia. Immediately after the fight, he called out former undisputed champion Terence Crawford.
To him, send the contract. So Terence Crawford, if he gets past Madrimov on August 3rd, will have the chance.
Ennis did a good job in his first defense of the International Boxing Federation World Welterweight title. He broke down an Ozan and dropped him with a quick cross in the 5th round. The challenger, who scored many points, would not make it to the next round. His team told the judge to call it a draw.
If Boots is a world-class fighter.
The fight was stopped 1 round faster than Crawford's fight with Avanesian in 2022. This result will, of course, be used as a bargaining chip to try to get the fight. Boots made it clear what he wanted a TKO before the 6th round, and the fight was stopped because the doctor in the ring told him to. And the II realized I was too strong for him and stated I should have listened to my corner somewhat more, jabbed a little more, got to that body a bit more, and got more angles also. It's okay.
Not these guys that's on the lower level. You know, when you fight somebody that's sharp and good like you know.
It was Ennis' maiden championship defense, and he increased his record to 32 wins, cementing his position as one of boxing's top rising stars. He has 29 knockouts in his career. Ennis, a native of Philadelphia. Ennis, a Philadelphia native, was fighting in front of a neighborhood audience of around 14,000 after a year off. I felt a little odd, he continued, but that's fine, Philadelphia. I got the job done. Okay? Done fighting and winning in his hometown felt amazing, he said. Ennis noted that he'd like to fight Terence Crawford, even if it means battling I said. Ennis plans to move up to 150 pounds for PBS from his current weight of 147 pounds. I want to fight the big names, he stated. But was apparently tuned in a hooked to dot and hooked social media post-fight and hooked fight to highlight what he sees as a changing of the storyline around Ava. He was criticized for the defense, whereas he now feels Boots has been credited defense, albeit by his manager Eddie Hearn credited Hearn with beating a world-class opponent Hearn, world-class opponent, world-class opponent, class fighter now Haw class. Eddie Hearn, my double standards are crazy. Eddie Hearn responded warmly to a fan who complimented the faster ending. Hearn, finish, Crawford simply replied to all while Spuds dace at welterweight a finish. Welterweighter almost certainly over with Saudi Arabia's Turkey Ilik. Welterweight Turkey Ilich was impressed by Ian's performance and expressed his desire to arrange a fight in the 150-pound weight class for future rankings. Hearn future. Hearn, who would have loved the impressive hometown turnout for his newly signed fighter, calls it the best fight in boxing. Crawford returns to the ring on August.
A FaceTime with His Excellency, who asked me, will we make the Crawford fight?
Saudi Arabia boxing power broker Turkey Alec thinker and Ennis has some boots to fill in the sport of boxing. Alec suggested via social media that he wants to fight in boxing. A fight between Ennis and pound-for-pound great Terence Crawford at junior middleweight soon. Clearly Ennis 27 of Philadelphia stopped Ava fight. Stop it at Avanesian 35 of Nottingham Campshire United Kingdom. Stopped Kingdom. In 5 rounds on Saturday in his Philadelphia return bout was his first. His confidence in the potential fight is also high, but he clarified that it will most likely take place in 2025. Hearn suggested that Ant's next fight in the fall will not be against Crawford. Fight Crawford. He is going to move to 50 at some point, said Hearn, but you don't want to really go until you have taken care of business. Hearn described a conversation with a colleague about the possible battle between Ennis and Crawford. Ennis, sitting next to Hearn, says hello. Ennis responded quickly, stating that he would send the contract after recounting his conversation with the other party. I said to His Excellency, maybe if you want Thike. We want to co-headline the event featuring Dimitri Dill and Artur Beterbiev in October, either in Saudi Arabia or back here. Artur Beterbiev.
His Excellency has already said he loves the Terence Crawford bout Ennis fight. You know, I took him to see him and he knows he's boxing.
There are many subplots to consider here. ESPN's Mike Coppinger reported that Canelo Alvarez is being targeted for a bout. Alvarez has a packed fight calendar in Los Angeles.
And he knows. But the thing is with Terence also knows, right?
Regardless, Ennis lingers in the background, with the world's biggest fight backers, the Saudis, expressing an interest in making that potential fight happen. And while the fight has already been agreed upon, they must overcome a few obstacles that may cause the fight to take place later rather than sooner. Negotiations over financial terms and venue arrangements may delay the fight scheduling. Terence Crawford is 34 years old, and his time in the ring is limited. So, if the bout is not scheduled soon, its relevance will fade, and many fans will lose interest. If the bout is not scheduled quickly, it will lose significance, and many fans will lose interest.
Anyone, and he's a pound for pound great. I mean, he's a legend of the sport.
Eddie Hearn believes that his fighter, Jaron Ennis, must focus on unifying titles in the welterweight division before moving on to the fight with Crawford. Hearn's desire to see Boutsis become undisputed at the 147 PB division undisputed division automatically means his next 3 to 4 division fights would be world title fights at the current 147 PB division 4 division, pushing his fight with Crawford further LB division.
Bout Ennis. But you've got people now who are champions at 47 that will look now at Boots as their payday.
Ennis defended his IBF welterweight championship with 2 victories this year, and he is now considering a unification later this year. Crawford is the division's only other title holder, but with his anticipated move to 150 pounds to face Cello Move in August, the belts are likely to be vacated. Hearn believes Ennis should attempt to unify the division by moving up to join Crawford, who has won belts in the division farther north, and that his next bout could be as early as June against Dimitri Bivol in Saudi Arabia.
Barrios, Stanionis. What other fights are they going to be in? They need to be looking for the boots.
The primary purpose is to unify the division. Be from Unifi Division, Hearn stated. He's going to go to 150 at some point, but you don't really want to go until you take care of business. His Excellency Turkey Alec asked me, "Do you think Boots would fight Crawford?" Crawford. I said yes, but that's for next year. We're going to fight in October or November. I told His Excellency. Maybe if you want November, we'll go as a co-main event on Beater versus Bivol in October, or we could come back here. Crawford versus Boots at the ballpark has got me really excited. The fight between Ennis and Avanesian Drew in front of an official crowd of 1,419 was the largest for a fight in Philadelphia, since 14,939 points were required.
To be looking for the Boots fight, for me to pay up, or a site fee to pay up, or wherever to pay.
Fans were allegedly still lining up at the box office for tickets as the two fighters walked to the ring, and the event exceeded expectations. The promoter Hearn's expectations, and he believes that the experience in a packed arena will be good preparation for a fight against the big MS in the sport. A teacher is only as good as his fighter, but a promoter is only as good as his fighter. The fighter, Arn said fighter.
That's for next year, but we're going to fight again in October, November. And I said to His Excellency, maybe if you want.
The truth is that you need quality fighters, a big TV deal, and great fighters. Fighters quality. Fighters, you need a big TV deal, and you need great fighters. What we saw tonight, I'd love to take all the credit, and Boots Ennis would, but no one expected that. Honestly, they were queuing on his ring walk out there tonight. Fighters. Tonight, it was amazing. We've done homecomings, and it isn't easy tonight. Easy that I know he thought his timing was off, but it's hard for a fight to be easy.
Event on Bivol Beterbiev in October out there, you know?
When asked by Fight Height about a possible showdown with Boots, Crawford was full of praise for the 26-year-old and told him that his time will come. I have always said that Boots is a great talent, and I have consistently told everyone that I support him. I have been supporting him since his amateur days when he fought Gary Russell.
He reminded them so much of me, but seeing him, I kind of see myself in him. And yes, he deserved a title shot.
When Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. fought, Terence made history by becoming the first unified welterweight champion, securing all 4 major belts. I've been supporting him since his amateur days, particularly during his fight against Gary Russell. I see myself in him, and I'm confident he deserves a title shot.
Or will it be Terence Bud Crawford?
Finn added Spence's World Boxing Association year. Association, World Boxing Council Association, Council, and International Boxing Federation titles to his own World Boxing Organization crown. Den knockout victory marked Crawford's 11th straight council finish, with 9 of them now coming in the 6th round or later. This bout, however, was the most impressive of them all. As Crawford put on a boxing masterclass to completely dominate the fight from the moment.
Back comes Crawford with the jab. Down goes Spence. How quickly that
was an unfamiliar position for Spence, who had never been dropped in his successful career. By the end of the fight, Spence had been knocked down 3 times, a similar story to Devin the Dream Haney, who was dropped by Ryan Garcia in his first loss.
That's the dude I need to fight, maybe after the rematch.
I always said
Crawford v. Ryan Garcia. In Crawford finished the fight landing a stunning 60% of his Crawford power shots and 42% of his swings. His 87 hit jabs were the most by a Spence opponent to fight power open, with Spence dictating terms and pressuring early while Crawford carefully and cleverly sat back, picking his moments to counter like he did late in the first round. Well, there were no major moments for either fighter. Spence overreached on one occasion.
move up after this fight because he's from a litany of angles. And here comes Spence, though, as Crawford, and down goes Spence.
Crawford was known for being a deliberate slow starter, while Spence was more likely to try to set the pace. Spence was able to do so even more in the second round with a combination of movement and pace. Crawford's consistent movement and relentless pressure caused problems for Spence, who was dropped for the first time in his career in the final moments of the second round.
In the fight, and Spence is hurt. The seventh. A big shot! Down goes Spence for the third time in the...
Crawford's power started to really show in the fourth round as a big overhand left and a series of brutal jabs landed, and Spence continuing an incredible start for the 35-year-old that carried over to the fifth round with Crawford once again backing Spence up with his accuracy, speed, and tech-spoke counter-punching. In the end, it was a matter of when and not if the fight would end, with Crawford dropping Spence another 2 times, before sealing a TKO win in the 9th round.
I don't need to take that fight because then everybody's gonna say it's too small, and then he need to enjoy his fight.
Since then, the 36-year-old has made it clear that he only wants fights that contribute to building his legacy before he retires. Gloves with super middleweight champion Sal Canelo Al gloves. Saul Canelo Veras being his top. Crawford surprised fans and analysts with his statement, claiming he would get no credit for beating the smaller man and stating that the fight wasn't in his immediate plans. Errol Spence Jr.'s statement is went to become undisputed at 147. He said he want.
And a great talent. Whether he'd stand a chance with Crawford, I don't really know, because at 147, Crawford is, I think, unbeatable.
Still, he has been open to the idea that money is a driving factor in his decision-making and won't rule it out totally with that in mind. He was asked by Match Hype back in 2022 if it would be a tough match to train for. I think Crawford would be tough to prepare for because he's a southpaw straight. I think he's a very tough fighter. Canelo then revealed that the 2 keys to victory are body shots and being a patient fighter. Patient. Prepare myself like always and be patient. Work the patient. Working body, but I think being patient is the key. Everybody looks for the head, and it's very tough to hit that kind of fighter in the head for his next bout. Working bout. Crawford will move up 1 division and take on the World Boxing Association. 150 for champion Israel Madma Finn. A bid to become a 4-weight champion should have stayed at 147. Ennis was seen as his only rival. The 27-year-old from Philadelphia has turned in a string of eye-catching performances to bolster his undefeated record to 32 wins, with 29 coming by way of knockout. In his latest outing, he suffered a knockout. David Avanesian stopped his opponent within 5 rounds and quickly called out his countryman. Avanesian, speaking to Fight Hub TV late last year about the possible matchup, expressed his desire to fight Crawford. Crawford's old promoter, Bob Arum, described Ennis as a tremendous boxer, highlighting the potential matchup. The boxer, a tough old fighter, is considered unbeatable at that weight. I know that Boots Ennis is a tremendous fighter with great ability, but I am unsure whether he would stand a chance against Crawford. I don't really know because at 147, Crawford is heavy. Is, I think, unstoppable the same way Shocker is at 135.
Core is a prodigy. I mean, I think, he's an unbelievable fighter.
But Ennis is probably the best welterweight out there, other than Crawford. Saudi Arabia's Turkethir. Turkey Alec has expressed interest in making the fight at super welterweight, especially since it is highly unlikely that Crawford will drop back down after his fight this past weekend. Turkey Weekend, he claimed he was rusty yet he put on a show that brought his name on weekend. Into headlines again, the fight started off with Boots showcasing his speed, power, ND fluidity, with him feeling so comfortable that he ended up fighting most of the fight right inside the pocket, trading punches in combinations with Aonian and pocket. Avanesian clearly getting the better of the exchanges in round 1. Avanesian Nis was quickly out. Quickly firing jabs. Avanesian covering up. Avanesian sneaked in a right quickly, but right Nis's was in control early with time and ice time. Ennis began working the body time. And slipping punches. Soon Aonian was caught with a low blow right uppercut and he was on the ground and in agony. He had 5 minutes to recover and the crowd was growing restless once it was time. The fight was on again and Ennis was still on the attack.
We're paying opponent.
Ennis kept unloading, but Aonian started fighting back in the second round. Aonian was now stalking and finding his mark with a range of punches and impressive exchanges entering the third round. Ennis showed greater power and volume, but it was clear that Ennis wasn't going down without a fight, and ES kept ticking up the pace even more and fighting off the ropes as well. He seemed satisfied with unloading uppercuts and taking some punches along the way, moving into the
Core is a prodigy. I mean, I think, he's an unbelievable fight.
The fifth round. Ennis missed with a big right and slipped. Tanzi landed a big uppercut and then he briefly hit the canvas. A huge slip and slider here. Avanesian was owing here, doing his best to turn the tide. Subli here went down almost immediately. He landed a punch and ate a bigger one, but he was back on his feet and more exchanges ensued. The punishing and steady body attack coming from Boots began to take a toll on Avanesian and Boots would then time a nice left-handed counter that dropped Avanesian in the fifth round. Avanesian would get up from that knockdown but would have to suffer more sharp punches while viewers could watch him wincing at some of the body punches. He took Aonian would make it to the bell in the fifth round, but at that point Avanesian corner saw that he was suffering and didn't have much resistance left to offer and decided to call a halt to the fight in between rounds. And that's all for now. What are your predictions for the fight between Terence, Crawford and Jaron? Boots? Ennis? Let us know your ideas in the comment section for the very best updates on news moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing. Stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop great content like this. Until next time, peace out.